Morning fish keepers, Cam here from the fishroom.co.nz. I'd like to all of you to pat yourselves on the back, congratulate yourselves, you've made it to Friday. That is an achievement, you've got to celebrate. Not bad, might have burnt the milk a little bit. Not too bad at all. Alright, so today we have nothing on the agenda. I haven't written the book, I've got absolutely nothing. Long story short, I was meant to be having a minor operation this morning. It turns out that right on the last hour that was cancelled, so here I am instead. Good morning, Gary. Good morning, Blake, and good morning, Brian. I hope all three of you gentlemen are well and happy. So that leaves me with basically nothing because we were going to postpone it. We had the postponement posts all set up, ready to rock and everything. Turns out that isn't going to happen today. So what I can tell you is that our move is in full swing. Good morning, Harry. How you doing, buddy? Our move next door is in full swing. Potentially now we will be moving all the aquariums this weekend or going to plan. It was going to be next weekend, but if we can make that work, make that shift happen, it'll be happening this weekend. So the storeroom's cleared out, the back room's cleared out. By the end of today, all of the dry aquariums are going to be out of this shop and into the next building. So next week, only things that will be left in here will literally be in the retailing space. Everything else should be over next door. Cool. Looking forward to seeing it. Is that your Apache video, Harry, or is it a different one? Yes, everything should be next door. All going to plan by next week, except for all the fish. If we have the opportunity this weekend to get the racks over and get all the aquariums over, we'll just make sure that's running properly. There's no leaks in the system, and then over the weekend, the next weekend, we'll get all the other fish and everything in the shop gone. So all going to plan. Not this Friday coming up, the one after, we will be operating out of the new building. So for those of you that are not aware, obviously we are moving. We're literally moving next door, just that direction. So currently we are at 10B Couture Place here in Stoke Nelson. As of probably 2 weeks' time, we're going to be operating at 8B Couture Place. We did ourselves a quick walkthrough video of it yesterday. Main retailing space is about the same size. It's got a dedicated room that we can keep our fish in, so it's going to be a dedicated fish room. And out the back, it's given us lots of room for holding fish for longer periods of time. The reason behind the move is it dawned on me very quickly that wanting to hold fish for a couple of weeks before selling them was making a significant bottleneck in the system, being able to make sure we have enough fish for everybody. And the only way around it was either adding more sorry, I just read your message there, Harry. Was either adding more aquariums or bigger aquariums, of which we couldn't do either in the shop because the back room was full. So we had to make a decision to essentially, the options were not to do the way we were doing it, or to move premise. And I'm a firm believer that holding the fish when they come in from wholesale, give them an extra couple of weeks in our water here, feeding them up on really healthy food, making sure everything is in pristine, tip-top condition before we send them away and before we sell them is the right decision for you, the hobbyist, and as well as the fish. So we had to essentially move premise, and it was just lucky that the same landlord for both buildings, so they were happy for us to break our lease to move into the other one. The building came up available, so everything just sort of worked out really well for us. So that's the reason behind us moving. Of course, again, if you haven't noticed as well, or weren't aware, we are having a sale because of which, so we've got 20% off basically everything except for fish, and with the fish we've got 35% off of all of them. Again, the theory being the less fish that we can move from one place to another, the better it's going to be for the fish, the easier it's going to be for us as well. So that's why we've got quite a significant amount off all of our livestock. It's selling really fast. We are running out fairly quickly. There are still plenty of species available, plenty of fish available, but we are depleting at a relatively fast rate. It also dawned on me yesterday that if we run the fish special all the way for the entire week, I mean, we might have people buying fish on the Friday, and not, or the Thursday, and not being able to have them sent out to the following week anyway, which completely defeats the purpose of what we're trying to do and adding less stress for the fish and everything else like that. So Monday midnight is when we're going to be having the cut-off for the fish sale. That then allows us to send fish on the Tuesday, the Wednesday, and the Thursday, and so less stress on the fish and stuff like that. But we will continue the dry goods and the accessories, the plants, all that kind of stuff, all the way up until midnight next Sunday. So still plenty of time to go. But again, even the dry goods, some of those product lines are depleting. We won't be replacing them until we get back up and running into the next shop, just so we can work out what we've got. Probably do a stock take between opening the door and that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit of moving cogs going on. And as Aaron has just alluded to, it is our 100th episode, and I'm a little bit upset that I wasn't able to bring anything amazing to the table for this. So I do apologise for that. Like I said, I was meant to be having a small minor operation this morning, and it was going to overlap with this time, so I didn't sort of have anything planned. So I'm sorry for everybody that there's nothing exciting and cool happening when it comes to that. I can tell you that next week we have another guest coming on. Just double check on my other page. I'm pretty sure, once we double check, that the guest we have coming in is a very knowledgeable African cichlid keeper, to the point where they go diving in Lake Malawi in quite a regular basis. Yep, cool. So that's correct. So next week we have a African cichlid expert goes diving in the lake on quite a regular basis, which I'm really, really excited for. It takes a lot of photographs and videos and stuff like that underwater in the lake, so that's really cool. A very, very knowledgeable human being. So if you're into your African cichlids, I think that'll be a really good watch. And even if you're not into your African cichlids and you just like the general ecology of whatnot of underwater and where fish come from and diversity and stuff like that, I also think that's going to be some very cool information just in general. So I'm very much looking forward to that. It's going to be an absolute cracker. And speaking of upcoming guests, we've got probably the next, I think it's 3 or 4 guests after this next week, all lined up. And there are some absolute gems coming through. We've got someone coming through that is really knowledgeable when it comes to live bearers, in particular guppies. So if that's your jam, there's that coming up as well. And I'm still hoping to get an exporter from overseas on. We're in talks at the moment. We're just trying to make sure the timing works well for them, because our time is like stupid o'clock for them in the morning. So that might be the case of him and I might record the video prior to the Friday, and we might just replay it as opposed to it being live. But I'm working really hard to get them on board. So fingers crossed we can get that one over the line as well, because I think that'll be really informative for everybody as well. If that is the case and that does happen, I'll ask people on probably Facebook and YouTube if there's any questions that they want answered, and we'll make sure we get them into the video as well. So it's just not just what I'm trying to find out for everybody as well. So thank you, Brian, for sticking around for all 100 or pretty close to all 100. I'm sure you've noticed the format change over the last several years from being in my garage at 5:30 in the morning or something stupid to slightly better production quality of me not holding my cell phone and shaking it around. So appreciate your support. Appreciate your support watching us, and also appreciate your support with purchasing from us. It's fantastic to have you and many other people around that I know watch the videos and purchase from us and just general talk about fish, which is always fun as well. So thank you very much. It is really appreciated. And yep, I think you're right. We are talking about some pretty cool fish. I'm hoping between now and then I might be able to work out if we can get some of his photos that he's taken previously, and as we're talking, bring them up onto the screen, because there are some phenomenal photographs that he's taken. So that'll be really exciting if we can work that out. So as I'm sure many of you are pretty well aware, I'm not that technologically savvy, so that might be a step too far. It might be possible, I'm not sure. As for guests, if there is anybody that people would like for me to try and get hold of to talk to, or any particular topics, please feel free to let us know. I'm absolutely open to trying to contact pretty much anybody. I'm absolutely open to having whatever topics people want to watch. The more that we can get out of the hobby, the more people we can talk to, the more information that we can share. Get an in-person guest. You mean someone sitting beside me to talk to? That could be genius. I think the problem with that would be someone would have to come into Nelson, and according to you, Cameron, not a lot of people like coming to Nelson. So I guess that I would have to leave someday. So yeah, I think that is I think that would be a really good idea. I will keep that in mind. I might have to do a little bit of traveling for that one or something like that. But yeah, that's a great idea. And I also agree. I think this is from my personal point. This is what I think. There's plenty of what you'd consider average hobbyists, not industry experts, so to speak, that love keeping fish, got half a dozen fish tanks or whatever, and really immersed in their hobby. I think a lot of them, what's the right words, would consider their story not being interesting enough, or their story not being authoritative enough, sort of thing, to be worthwhile talking about, which I do not think is true. Everyone's fish keeping journey, everyone's fish keeping hobby is dear to themselves, and always wanting to talk to people about fish and see what they're doing and how they're keeping their aquariums. So, I think you're right. So even if there is someone who is a general hobbyist and they want to come on one day and we can have a chat about what you do and what you've enjoyed about the hobby and all that kind of stuff, I'm more than happy to have you involved in that as well. So yeah, if you've got any suggestions for guests, if you're a general hobbyist, anything like that, please feel free to message us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Send us an email, rings up. It doesn't really matter which way you want to do it, and we can breach that conversation and start that. It'll be fantastic. So yeah. So I don't really have, like I said, anything else to talk about. I don't feel like I'm just rambling at the moment, which is really nice. I think there's been some nice chats from Cameron and Brian, which has sort of helped that non-rabble. So I appreciate it, boys. Thank you very much. But if we do not have... Oh, no, I've done it again. It would appear that I need to cut my moustache. My wife would agree very much so. But if we've got nothing else, nobody has any more questions or anything on those lines, I will go. There's a lot of orders that need to be packed from the sale, and I've got a lot of things to move. I'm sorry. But yeah, I just thought that I had to, I'm here. We'll get this done, get our little coffee date under control, get it happening. So, like I said, unfortunately for 100, we're not celebrating anything majorly, although I guess we're having a fairly large sale just coincide between at the same time. So yeah. So I guess I'll just repeat that one more time. Until midnight Monday, we have 35% off all livestock on the website and in store. And until midnight next Sunday, we've got 20% off everything else. So that's frozen foods, plants, filters, plant care, water care food, anything else that is not a swimming fish, we have 20% off. So pretty much fill your boots while you can. It's well worth it. Free shipping on pretty much everything as well, other than frozen food and live animals. So yeah. That being said, thank you everybody for joining us today. Thank you everybody for supporting us through 100 of these videos, supporting the business. I can 100% assure you, without the support of the hobbyists out there, we wouldn't be in the position to be doing what we're doing. We wouldn't be in the position to moving shops and trying to improve what we're doing even more so, and hopefully getting bigger and better and continuing to support the hobby that's given me so much, and hopefully able to give that back. So thank you everybody, really appreciate it. Thank you for joining us today. I'm going to be on my way out, so have a good one, team. Happy fish keeping. Catch you later.